Hello everyone, welcome back to Trek A Day, and continuing on with my top 50 favorite characters. In Star Trek we have number 21, T'Pol. T'Pol seems to be a very love or hate character within the franchise. I see lots of people that adore this character and one of their favorites in the franchise, and other people that can't stand her, as it's such a mixed reception to that character. And I think one element of it that is also true for Seven of Nine is I find some people have a hard time looking beyond her looks and the outfits they put her in to see the character beneath. And I understand that, but no, T'Pol is a character for me that I found to be a truly fascinating depiction of a Vulcan because of the time frame Enterprise takes place in and all the personal struggles that she goes throughout the series. Is such a monumental time of change both for humanity and for the Vulcans throughout the course of Enterprise, and then continuing on in the books beyond season 4. And she's such an important part of that time period as the first Vulcan to have an extended stay aboard a human vessel, and how things change over time with how the crew reacts to her. A bit of the standoffishness, the antagonism in the beginning, feeling insulted by having this kind of Vulcan overseer, almost a babysitter on board, and then slowly getting to know her and the relationships changing, the friendships. And one that really stands out to me is her and Archer, and their friendship, best expressed in episodes like Twilight, which is one of my favorite Enterprise episodes. I love to see their dynamic change over time as this great captain first officer relationship, and then of course her and Trip and how that romance progresses. And I feel that some things that are also unappreciated with the character are the dramatic elements, because she is in this interesting position of playing things straight and kind of wooden, being very Vulcan and stoic, and then different plot lines give the situational excuse for that character to branch out in a more emotional capacity as they encounter Vulcans who are rejecting the suppression of emotion element of Vulcan culture and the experimentation with that, and then dealing with the sickness while they are in the Expanse, and being an essential part of the great societal and social upheaval within Vulcan, that changing cultural context. So I just always thought she was a great character, very underrated, someone I could go on and talk about in even greater detail than the scope of this short type of video, because I think she is a remarkable character, very underrated, especially as you go along in the series. Season 4 is definitely my favorite with T'Pol, and I think she's a fantastic first officer, and just a character I always thought was great. And then of course that character probably would be even higher had Enterprise lasted its full 7 seasons. But thankfully we at least got to see the continuation of this character through the Romulan War and the rise of the Federation, to see her become the Federation captain of the Endeavor, and to see that growth of that character, and eventually moving back to Vulcan as an ambassador and living peacefully with her children, and Trip, who's posing as the family gardener as he is officially dead. It's interesting, that last episode of Enterprise is terrible, and thankfully the books go to show that it was all part of a Section 31 cover-up, and the events of the holographic program that Riker's watching aren't actually true, and there's one whole book all about what really happened to Trip, and there's things teased, and it's just nice to get a vision of her in semi-retirement, living with her family, with Trip, in this semi-seclusion and peace. And it's just a nice vision for this character after everything she's gone through. And I think that she would probably get my vote as the most underappreciated Star Trek character. There are far greater characters in the franchise, even ones that are below her in my list of favorites that are definitely better characters overall, but I think part of why I feel so strongly about T'Pol appreciation is that I feel like she doesn't get as much appreciation as she deserves. One of my favorite characters in the franchise.